This is the 2026 Honda HR-V, and it is the best bang for the buck subcompact SUV. Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. We're back at Holmes Honda today to do something that a lot of you often request. Not go over the top trim level, but instead we're going to go over the base trim level. This is the LX model. Its base price is $26,200. That's not bad. If you want to know more about this particular model, check out the link down in the description of the video to the Holmes Honda website. On the front end, believe it or not, you will find full LED lighting, LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, and LED turn signal indicators. Now, this model is front-wheel drive, but all-wheel drive is available. You're going to find Honda sensing across all trim levels. That's a standard feature. It includes adaptive cruise control, collision mitigation braking, lane keeping assist, road departure mitigation, and traffic jam assist. And in this particular case, you're going to find the 17-inch wheels. There is also a spare tire located in the rear cargo area. The side view mirrors are going to be manually folding and power adjustable. Now, they don't have the turn signal indicators built in or blind spot monitoring, but keep in mind trim level, they're also not heated. If you go on higher trim levels, you will find heated door mirrors, blind spot monitoring, all of that stuff will be there. It just depends on what you want. Now, let's take a look at our key fob. We're gonna have lock, unlock, and you'll have the button right there for your panic button. We'll find the shark fin antenna. We'll also find our rear roof spoiler and LED tail lights. So full LED lighting. There's the HR-V logo. Now you do have a manually opening tailgate. Once you open that just a little bit, the dampening takes over and it's no problem whatsoever. Let me go ahead and show you. There's the proof of what I was talking about earlier, a spare tire. Under the hood is the naturally aspirated 2-liter 4-cylinder. It makes 158 horsepower and 138 pounds-feet of torque. It is mated to a CVT or continuously variable transmission, and this is the only available powertrain across all trim levels. Let's see what the MPGs are on this front-wheel drive model. 26 city, 32 highway, 28 combined, 3.6 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. This model is equipped with a 14-gallon gas tank. On a full tank of gas, you should be able to drive about 364 miles in the city. Out on the highway, that number jumps to 448 miles. Your cargo capacity ranges between 24.4 up to 55.1 cubic feet. You can see that you can lower the seats down. That will help maximize cargo space. This model does not have a sunroof. Depending on the trim level you go with, you will have a sunroof available. And when you get that, for those who want to know, it's going to be a conventional size as opposed to the panoramic. And we'll also find cargo area lighting back here on both sides. And as you just saw, you're also going to have the 12-volt for your connectivity needs. And we'll find the armrest. The rear portion is going to have a little bit of padding built into it. Comfortable back there. We've got the door bin or bottle holder down there. And we're going to find the rear seat pocket on the back of the passenger seat, only on the passenger seat. A little bit of storage right here, and that's about it. No air conditioning vents, no USB connectivity back here, and there's also no fold-down armrest with cup holders built in. One question that I know a lot of people ask, can you recline the seat backs? As you can see, there is a little bit of recline built into these seat backs. However, it is not adjustable. The sticker price on this LX trim level at Holmes Honda is $28,105. Let's see what else you get for that price. Now, both driver and passenger seats here in the front seat area are going to be manually adjustable. The biggest difference between the two is that you can raise and lower the height of the driver's seat, but not the passenger seat. Going to have the glove box right here, space within there for storage. We'll also have the larger door bin and armrests here on the front doors. And as we look up here at the upper console, just to give you a quick look at what's here, not a whole lot to talk about where that is concerned. We'll go over here to the driver's side door here, the controls for our side view mirrors. Door locks, you can lock and unlock all 4 windows. You do have the driver's window that is going to be 1 touch down and 1 touch up. The other windows, you'll have to hold the button down to lower them and raise them. Here is your traction control button. So if you want to attempt a front wheel drive burnout with your HR-V, turn your traction control off first. I'm not recommending that you really do that, but it was funny. You might not even smoke the tires. I don't know. The lever that I just released right here allows you to adjust the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. Hey, by the way, if you do a front-wheel drive burnout with your HRV, send me a video. I'd love to see that. Here's everything for your cruise control, adaptive cruise control, and quite a few different things going on here on the left-hand side with the steering wheel mounted controls. You've got your voice commands. You can adjust the volume for the radio and go back and forth between stations. And we can also use the scroll wheel right here. We can go into our vehicle settings depending on what we want to do. There's quite a bit going on here that you can go and look at. A few little things you can work with. Just to show you what's here, obviously you can pair your smartphone and you'll have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And if you need to go in and change the gauge display, this is how you're going to do that. So all I did was push on the scroll wheel right there, and then I can scroll my way through. It depends on what you want to see here. So you can see what is checked, and some of these are grayed out, but some of these you can't have up there. But just so you know what's here, to get back out of that, we hit the home button right there, and we can go back out to the menu and keep looking around depending on what you need to see. So that's going to work. There's more settings. I'm not going to cover everything that's here, but just to give you an idea, a nice modern look with the driver's display. And you'll have the front and rear window wiper control right there. Everything for your lights, you can just set that to auto, no big deal. You can't set your turn signals to auto, so make sure you use those. You know, those things that blink on the outside of your vehicle that let people around you know what you're doing before you actually do it. That might be news to some of you. You might say, really? I didn't know you could do that. I've driven around you, so I know you don't know. Okay. I love to be sarcastic about that, yes. Now, let's talk about some good news here. A couple of things that are now standard on all HRV models. Number one, your 9-inch touchscreen. As I mentioned earlier, you have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You can wirelessly pair your smartphone. You can go into general settings and make changes. Go and change your sound and your sound volume. Go into system. Whatever it is you need to do, it's going to be here. Here's how you're going to change your date and time. There you go. You can change the time format. It's all here. And we do have the rear view camera. Now, this is the only camera view that you have. There are actually 3 views, but they're all from the rear. So we're going to have the 2 different views and the view straight down to the rear above the bumper right there. That'll come up when you go into reverse. You've got the good old-fashioned knob right there to adjust the volume for your radio and turn that on and off. Single zone climate control in this case. You can adjust your fan speed, your temperature, everything is here. Another thing that should make a lot of people happy, a standard feature, your wireless charging pad. That is, again, standard, just like the 9-inch screen, across all models. You'll have a couple of USB ports right there, and you will have your cup holders. We're also going to have our shifter right here. Now, you can see everything that you have, and you might wonder, what is the S for? That is your sport mode. You also have L, that's low for your low traction situations. That means that the transmission will stay in low gear, but you'll still have all of the horsepower and torque available, even in low gear. Drive mode selector, here it is. Let's see what our drive modes are. We've got normal, we've got econ and snow. Now you'll notice sport isn't there. Like I said, that's what the S is for right here. So all you're going to do is just come back one beyond drive. There you're in sport mode. You'll also have your power parking brake and brake hold mode, and then the center console. Not a ton of space in there, but you know what? There is some space within the center console for storing whatever you need to. Now, this model does come with the cloth interior. It still seems to be pretty comfortable to me. I think you could enjoy a nice long road trip here in this HRV. All right, let's go out on the road for our test drive with the HRV. Drive over the railroad tracks. It does a decent job of soaking up the bumps. It may not be the best, but you know what? It's not terrible. It definitely has a good ride quality for such a small SUV. A lot of the time, something like this is going to have a little bit more of a choppy ride, but I haven't had that experience with the HRV, so I'd say it rides well. It has a nice tight turning radius, and so if you're in a situation where you have a lot of tight spaces to maneuver through, a lot of traffic, This is a good vehicle to have. It does get down the road decently. You might think 158 horsepower isn't quite enough, but it does seem to get the job done. I don't think anybody buys an HRV expecting neck-snapping performance, so that should be no surprise. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a Type R one day. Type R HRV. Okay, I'm being very facetious about that. That's not true. Everything's easy to get to from the driver's seat. I like that. But you do have a lot of the steering wheel mounted controls that make that even easier. Easy to see out of, and the gas pedal and brake pedal are easy to manage, and you will find that the seats are pretty comfortable. I think I could be comfortable in here for quite a while. A good bit amount of adjustability built into the driver's seat, and obviously with the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel, well, anybody of just about any height should be able to set things up to where they're nice and comfortable. Now, I am curious to know, for those of you that may be over 6 feet tall or maybe down around 5 feet tall, what has your experience been? Somebody who can really talk about that. I'm 5'10", so I can't give you that information, but I know there is a lot of room left to grow here with the adjustability with the seat and with the steering wheel to make sure that you're good and comfortable and able to see just fine. No big deal where that's concerned. Getting up to speed here, getting around the 18-wheeler, no problem right there. Overall, I'd say for what it is and for what you pay, obviously you can get into the higher range in the 20s and even into the low 30s depending on how much you have as far as your features and functions go, your options, depending on the trim level you go with. But you get a lot, even on this base trim level, and a lot that's available to add depending on what you want to do beyond the base $26,200 base price. But I'd say overall, the HRV is definitely a great vehicle, especially for somebody who's looking to save some money. Maybe doesn't need a big vehicle. As funny as it might sound, even at $26,000, it would make a great first vehicle. But overall, definitely a great vehicle to drive. And there it is, the 2026 Honda HRV, definitely offering a lot for the price. If you go with this base trim level, the LX, and don't add any features, you're looking at a sticker price of $26,200. That's pretty good. Tell me what you think. I'd like to say a special thanks to my friends at Holmes Honda for loaning me this HRV for the day so I can tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That's very helpful to me. Please be sure to subscribe and share this video on your timelines on social media. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.